Hey everyone, we built our own AI chatbot.
And we're going to show you a live AI demo of that.
Welcome back to Chocolate and Spice Talk. I'm Nidhi.
It is so exciting. Hey everyone, I am Neha. I'm a computer science engineer and an MBA with over 20 years in leadership and technology. I love learning, teaching, and I'm honestly obsessing over how the world is changing with AI.
Hey everyone, I am also an engineer and an MBA with over 15 years of experience in product and technology. I love a good plan, a good laugh with my friends, and right now I have at least 5 different AI projects that's keeping me busy. And today we are talking about something we have been working on behind the scene, and we are so excited about it. We built our own chatbot for our website.
And before anyone clicks away thinking this is going to be a very techy episode, it's not, I promise. We're going to keep this very, very simple.
And it is kind of, we built a digital version of ourselves that lives on our website that can talk to you at any time.
Exactly. I mean, it was kind of funny when we were doing it, but it has turned out real fun, as you will see in the live demo. So, if you were ever wondering what was the arranged marriage conversation that I had heard, like this chatbot was for you.
All right. So let's get into why and why did we start building it. So I don't know, Neha, if you know how many episodes we have had so far. We have had 45 episodes and around 22 blogs so far. That is a lot of content, right? And we keep getting messages from our listeners asking, like, hey, do you remember the school you talked about for kids? And I can't find the episode number, or what did Neha talk about fitness and so on.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that people remember things we said, which is amazing. Like, I feel so grateful that people have been listening and asking us questions. But the funny part is, we've had so many episodes and we've talked so much that I can't even remember what we said in what episode sometimes.
Well, just talk about yourself. But so we thought it would be a great way for people to ask literally question on our website. So how about it would be so cool that you can go to Chocolate and Spice Talk and ask question about any of our episodes and get a real good content out of it instead of some generic internet response.
Yeah, and that was the big thing for us. We didn't want one of the more, generic chatbots that sound like a robot, like really a robot, but we wanted it to speak in our words, in our language, and in our tone.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted it to sound like us. Like
Yeah.
if you asked it about people pleasing, it would say something like Nidhi thinks you need to stop saying yes to everything, and Neha would have a gentle take on it, and so on. So, all right. So, why do you think, Neha, we built it? Like, I think we have been playing around with this idea.
Yeah, and to answer that question, we realized that a lot of questions people were asking us, we've actually already answered in one of our episodes, right? Like someone often asks, "What do you think about having a second kid?" And we have an entire episode on that.
Mhm. Yeah, so for us, chatbot is like a bridge. It's always there. It knows everything we have ever talked about in podcasts, on our blogs, and it can point you to the right place. It's like having a really organized friend who remembers everything.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But also, and this is something I think that's really cool. This is a very low pressure way to engage with us. Not that I'm sure anybody had any kind of pressure engaging with us, but sometimes people don't want to publicly write a comment. Sometimes they don't even want to send DMs. Some people are very private, but you can type a question to a chatbot, and that's going to be entirely, your question. Only you get to see the answer. So there is really no pressure. It's very easy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we built it. Like if you're going through something and maybe at midnight you want uh, one of our perspective, like if you connect to me or connect to Neha, you can just ask and you will get like our real personalities out there. And we will show you a live demo. So that will be fun.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right.
So let's talk about how we actually build this thing because we want to be as transparent as we can about everything that went on with it so you can trust us and be able to use it. So Nidhi, I know you're going to want to get into the technical stuff, so I'm going to keep pulling you back to simple language.
All right. So, in really simple language, here is how it works. We took AI specifically, in our case, we took the model by Google called Gemini, and we basically taught it everything about our podcast.
And when you say you taught it, You mean,
Yeah.
what do you
So
mean?
when I say taught it, it's like we have had 45 episodes, right? And 22 blogs. So what I did is got all the transcripts from all the episodes, all of our blogs and any other content that we have, and we condensed them into really detailed summaries, and that is what we gave to AI, and that is basically the brain of AI. Yeah.
Amazing. So it's like, if you had a new friend and you wanted to catch them up on everything about your life, you wouldn't want them to read your entire diary, right? You'd give them highlights, the important moments or stories.
Exactly. That's a really simple and great way to put it. And we gave AI our highlight reels, but a very thorough one. So it's not just that we talked about menopause, but what was actually discussed in that conversation. What were the pros, cons, advice, the funny things we'd said, and so on. So it's not just the highlight, but all of the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And when someone asks a question, the AI is not making stuff up. This is very important for us. We want to make sure it is our stuff, it's pulling from what we've actually said and our own personal stories.
Exactly. I think it was very important for both of us that we put in like strict rules that chatbot cannot fabricate anything. If it doesn't know anything, be transparent and say that I do not have that information rather than guessing. Because the last thing we want is for it to ask us about a guess we didn't have and invent a name. That would we would
Yep.
lose all credibility.
No, that would be so embarrassing. And yeah, don't want that.
All right. I do want to touch on real quick thing, which is the personality. So let's talk about that because this is what makes our chatbot really different from other chatbots. So we didn't just give chatbot information; we gave it rules on how to talk. So Neha, what do you think your personality is like?
My my personality is definitely the introvert. So in the chocolate and spice talk, I know we framed me to be the chocolate, and so a chatbot is so funny. It will say Neha, the chocolate. So you might hear that.
Yeah, so
You're the spicy one.
that's true. And we also set rules that chatbot speaks in third person. So it'll say, Nidhi thinks or Neha's take is. It never says I think because we didn't want the chatbot to pretend to be us. It's more like a really well informed narrator who knows both of our perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, and it gives it always from that perspective. So, for example, it might say something like, Nidhi the spice says, "Speak up and set boundaries immediately," while Neha the chocolate says, "Take a step back first to understand the view." Like literally how we engage with a given topic.
All right. I'm going to start the live demo, Neha. Do you want to talk about like the honest conversation, why we built it, AI is everywhere, and so on, while I pull up our website?
Yeah, yeah. And that's a very, very interesting one because, AI is everywhere and there are all kinds of conversations happening in terms of is it good or bad and ethics and morality. So we are very aware of that. We're very conscious of that. And we actually already did 2 episodes on AI, and we're going to be doing many more episodes on AI as well. So please feel free to check those episodes out if you want to get some of our perspective on AI. But this chatbot is really trying to leverage AI in the best way possible and see what can be done as world moves towards AI. So that's our goal.
All right. So let's do this. Neha, can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right. So we have a little icon here, which will pull up the chat. We also have a dedicated chat section here. So let's, do a demo and see how it works. Neha, do you have any questions you want to ask? So let's see. Live demo is dangerous, but let's see how this goes.
Okay, why don't you do what's your take on work life balance?
Work life balance. Oops, spelling mistake, but hopefully get it. All right, so it is thinking, but it also had some starter questions. So now what it's going is we gave its knowledge base. So it went to its knowledge base and it's asking, oh, the $1 million question. Let's be real. The term work-life balance can sometimes feel like a cruel joke when we are navigating tech careers, motherhood, and just trying to remember where you left your car keys. Since Nidhi and Neha have over 35 combined experience in the tech world and so on. So, as you can see, it gave Nidhi perspective. I'm a total action addict. It all is taking from everything we have talked about. So, and Neha, do you think this is right? it's talking about you being an resident introvert, which sounds about
Yes,
right.
sounds right.
So yeah, it has to be. So what we are trying to show here is that it will not go outside what we have talked about. It might reword because it's using the natural language of the LLM, but the knowledge base, it's like a RAG model, which is like open book test. So knowledge is only coming from a transcript. So it won't like go outside there. So let's say let's for the sake of it, are we going to ask a question, where do we buy guns? We have never talked about it. And let's see what it says. Oh, here's the thing. You've definitely come to the wrong place for that. Neha and Nidhi are all about spicing up your life with wellness, tip, tech talks, deep sisterly conversation, not firearms. So it certainly couldn't find anything about this in the knowledge base, which is a transcript. So it just stayed away from it. And, it talked about strength. So it's smart. It talked
Yeah.
about some kind of fitness and so on. And then we also have a little box in here where you can drop in your email and subscribe. And we are obviously not going to share your email with anybody. But yeah, Neha, anything else on that?
Yeah, I mean, as you saw from the chatbot's demo, the responses are streaming in real time. So
Mhm.
you are seeing the words that are appearing as the AI is thinking, but what it's really doing is it's really going through the database of all our content and making sure it frames it in a way that becomes palatable in this chat. And again, like Nidhi showed, we are making sure that this AI does not get into topics that have nothing to do with what we discuss, so you will not get answers on, like you saw, firearms, but also on nudity or any such related subjects that we essentially never discuss.
Yep. And it will also, like, you can give it any kind of questions, and it's smart enough to answer it. So I gave it like, give me a pep talk, I'm feeling low. First of all, come here and take a virtual hug from both of us. So this is where the personality of the chatbot also comes into play. So we have tried to make it very positive, we have tried to make it very empowering. And now it knows Nidhi's personality because we have fed in both of our personalities. And Nidhi, the spice, that is, I would say, listen to me. It's okay not to be okay right now. Stop thinking to hustle your way out of a bad mood. When I feel like it, there's my anxieties start speaking, or work feels like a mountain, I use the 5-second rule. So this is something we've talked about. Neha, what does yours say?
Yeah, so I actually am not able to read because it's very
Oh, really?
small on
Okay.
my
So for
screen.
sorry, Neha says, I want you to take a deep breath and remember something I've learned. And this is the monk saying that it's talking about, and it's going towards, that one of the episodes where we talked about habits and calmness and spirituality. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also, in case you are interested in finding an episode related to this, let's say you wanted to go to the episode that talks about parenting, you could even say which episode talks about parenting, and it should ideally tell you the exact episode. So, that's another way. As the number of episodes grow longer and you just wanted to find the right episode, this could be another way to do that.
Absolutely. And anything else, Neha? Do you want to show here that we could, like? Okay, do you want to ask about any episode? Give me a question.
Uh, well, what was that episode on arranged marriage?
What was the episode on arranged marriage? Oops. Again, smart enough to ignore my poor spelling, but it should be able to pull up. Let's see. Oh, yep. That's episode 12. Gen Z asks millennials, dating, marriage, love, and relationships. So, yeah, it can
Love it.
pull up, yeah,
Yeah.
all of that. So yeah, I mean, this was a fun little project for us. So you can access this from the homepage. Here, there is a small icon, and it gives you answers and questions. Here, there's a dedicated page for chat where you can ask, and it has some starters questions too, where that you can use. But yeah, it's fun. Let us know. We really want your honest feedback on how this feels, and how it can we can make it more interactive for you.
Yeah, and it is definitely to make sure you have an easy time navigating things and getting answers, based on the kind of topics that we have covered. And also, we wanted to share that AI and technology and all of that might feel very overwhelming, but you can clearly see that it is doable, right?
Exactly. And that's what we want to encourage everybody to do something creative because AI is here to stay. So the more we get better at it, the more we learn to utilize it, I think the better it'll serve us.
Yeah, and let us know if you have any questions on the chatbot or AI or just anything related to technology. We are more than happy to share more, not only as part of our podcast and episode, but also share more. Like we've been thinking about how can we frame this as either a newsletter or sort of a booklet that we can hand off and help people. So let us know because the more we understand your interest, the more we can spend time on creating those kind of booklet to share with you.
Exactly. And yeah, reach out to us. We want to help you any way possible. But the secret is all about preparation and how you carefully prepare any of your information. Like it's garbage in, garbage out. But if you take time to really curate anything, that's what we did, like the tone, the personality, the actual content, the boundaries we want to set. And then it can really has a potential to genuinely become useful and fun. So yeah, we are happy to help. So slide into our DM, send us an email, use the chatbot, leave your email in there. That's another way to contact us.
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of what's next for the chatbot, right now it has picked content from all our current episodes and all our blog posts. But every time we publish a new episode and blog post, we're going to be updating it. So it'll actually keep growing with us.
Yeah. And we would love feedback. So if there's something you asked and you felt that was not right, or if it gave you an answer that you felt it shouldn't have, we would love to know because we have done our own testing, but we might have missed something and we would love to get your help to improve this. And the more testing we do, the more you play with it, the more we'll get feedback. So yeah, you will
The better
certainly
it
know.
gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full circle thing. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
perfect.
So if you haven't tried a chatbot yet, please go to our website, Chocolate and Spice Talk, and you will see the little chat button. Ask it anything you want and communicate with it, interact with it. That's all we want. Give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, send us a DM, whatever. And we genuinely want to get to know you better. And hopefully this helps.
Yeah, and we are building this for you. The whole point was to make your experience better and to stay connected because we are trying to build a community that's engaged and powerful, and we are all empowering each other. And this is one of our ways we are trying to make sure we do that. So if you find it helpful, let us know, and then we'll keep working towards it.
All right.
Right.
Thank you for hanging out with us. You'll find this podcast anywhere you find your podcast. So, yeah, send us a note if you try it.
Thanks. Bye.